it's Bill. And I had a question asked about a recipe. So when I was a kid, my mom used to take leftover turkey and she made turkey curry. And it's really kind of a special thing. So I was asked, what about making it with chicken? So I got like 2 good-sized chicken breasts, almost a pound and a half, closer to maybe a pound and a quarter, and put them into some decent cubes because remember they're going to shrink. Now I got some oil here, heating, it's just starting to shimmer, and I've got cornstarch. So like always, I'm going to kind of get you started to see how this all works, and then I'll finish it up so I don't have to bore you. Yeah. My monster rabbit's decided he's got to interfere with the filming of this. I don't have to think of you. Hey, Henry. No, don't eat that. Try and eat the lights. Yeah. Okay. So, there you go, back in your room. So what I need to do is keep a wet dry thing going. And I'm not going to put too many in the cornstarch at a time. Oh, look at that. At a time. And I got my dry. Remember, just pinch the cornstarch. And cornstarch is sticky anyways. So it's not like flour. He's back. Really wants to be a troublemaker. Henry's a Flemish giant. He's an extremely large rabbit, so he can't be caged. He's pretty much free roaming. He's like 15 pounds, which is huge for a rabbit. So I don't want to overdo in the pan, because I tried that last time. Actually, it was with beef, and yeah, I ended up kind of messing up. So now sometimes you want to use the pan that you're going to be cooking the meal in, but in this case I don't have to, because I'm not trying to get all the cooked on stuff. I'm hoping enough of the cornstarch sticks to kind of thicken it. See, already they're starting to get pretty done. I guess that'd be better grammar. They're almost done. Pretty done. That's trying to use every space possible so that I get this done as quick as possible. That's too many as possibles. But anyway, you get the idea. So yeah, cornstarch is really weird consistency. I'm going to quick wash this off and show you how we're going to flip it. So remember, I don't know if you really want to keep the allow the oil to really kind of come up the sides, the brown coming up the sides. That's how you really know when it's done. And of course, smaller pieces cook faster than big pieces. There's no rule to how to do this. Just kind of eyeball it. And I'm going to try and use my expertise here. It's a little blonde. So usually the first couple ones you do, you're learning. They're getting better. They're looking better, so I'm doing a good job. So I chose to use a non-stick pan because I really didn't want all that cornstarch to stick to the bottom. And you know, yes, everyone always tells me if I were a good old cast iron man, I wouldn't have that problem. But I think everyone has some kind of a non-stick pan, and not as many people have cast iron. So the heat's really kind of stepping up here. So, oops. So we're going to do the same thing. Just let them cook. And now that I've already flipped them once, I can really kind of let them cook, because I really want to make sure they're cooked all the way through. I know they're going to cook in the rest of the meal, but if you want to keep them from being chewy, this is where you really need to make sure that you get them nice and fried. A little color on the outside. And the cornstarch has actually done a really great job of sticking to it. So what I did was I cut the chicken up into small cubes, put it on a paper plate with a paper towel, because I want to keep all that excess liquid off. And this thing's really starting to go to town. And then all I'm going to do, I got a big bowl, I'm going to put this all, so I'm going to have a big mounded bowl of chicken when I'm all said and done. So, now this is really sizzling, I got to get to work. So I'm going to let you guys go get your snacks, because you're watching this beautiful show, and I'll be back when I got all my chicken done. Alright, see you back in a few minutes. This has been a lot of fun. Not really, but it smells so good. Alright, so I do something really different than most people, and you know, all the rumors you hear about, oh, don't touch, leave it be, you gotta cook it all on one side. Well, let's say it doesn't stick. I know you have to get a crust on one side. But I tend to, when I cook chicken, I do the 3-flip. You know, so the first time when I think it's done, I flip it, and I'll be like, kind of grate it. Like, if this is a prime example, you can see that there's good color both sides. So I did my job. Both sides. And why am I putting it in a bowl instead of on paper towel? Because I want all that juice to go back in. Both sides. You can see how beautifully colored. This one needs a flip. That one's a flip. I did have to add a little more oil, and I was going to tell you, you can use canola oil. I do that a lot of times, but I kind of wanted some flavor, so I did use olive oil. I'm not like super deep frying this, it's just warm. And crusties in the bottom are making this cook really fast. Except for one little piece. Sometimes it's because it loses its coating. Because the pan starts to get a little nasty. And that bowl's going to be really hot. So please be careful. That's why I bring the goods to it. Okay, I'm going to turn this off. I don't have that piece, but it's cooked. I can promise you that. It's so small. And that piece is cooked. Okay, I just need that all to cool. So now what I need to do is I need to get these in the sink because they're a mess. And you know me, I'm going to get that frying pan out of my way so I can cook. Turn off the heat. This is going over here. I always keep a glass jar to put my oil, whatever in. Shouldn't put it down the drain. And so what I got in here is going to be the pot I cook it in, right? So I got 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm just going to get that rolling. Move the chicken back out of my way because it's really hot. And so I chopped up, this is 1 big sweet onion, 2 medium, I really didn't have a whole lot, or too small, I really didn't have a whole lot of choice, so this was a 1.5 medium, but you can see it's pretty good. I'm going to guess a little more than 2 cups worth, and that's pretty much what we wanted. So I'm going to get this in here. And I got 1 whole cup of, or 1 whole cut up red pepper. I'm going to leave it right here for right now because I want to get this started. Maybe I just use a spoon. I knew that this burner would be so hot, you know, the grate, that it should heat it right up, which it is. Okay, so what's the mystery ingredient? Because I always have one, right? Granny Smith apples. So I'm going to show you a really down and dirty, quick and easy thing. And I want to use a kitchen knife to start. And if you want to do detail work with a smaller knife, that's fine. Basically, we're going to cut it in half. We're going to quarter it. And this apple is bigger than I thought it was, now that I got it here. I think my eyes were bigger than my stomach. Now this is really going, so I want to turn it down. So if you're afraid of using a big knife, I always have a little knife. And basically, see, I can do this to show you. You want to cut out that core part. And I've been cutting so long, I tend to cut towards myself, which I shouldn't do. People yell at me all the time. So all you have to do is cut like that. Doesn't have to be fancy. I got a lot of extra apple here. So I'll show you once more. I'm going to try and do it. Someone says, why would you cut towards yourself? I said, you know, as a kid I used to whittle wood all the time. That's probably why. Even though whittling you're supposed to do this, you end up doing a little fine work towards yourself. And we were kids, we were invincible, so we did a lot of stupid things. Alright, so I got all the seeds and the core out. set these over here. Let's get back to here. So why am I doing it to the last minute is because I don't want it to turn brown. Okay, I want it to be really fresh. And so my onion had started to cook. I'm going to put my red peppers in here. And just in case I need more, I'll give you another demonstration while that's finishing up. Half, quarter, and if you really want, you can eighth. It's probably easier to core and seed, and I don't have to be really exact, okay? But you want to make sure that you do catch all the seeds and get them out. Want all those seeds out of there. Once again, you'll see it's a little easier. I'm just going to take my knife, cut through. Take my knife, cut through. And if you're not sure, hey, you know what? You can bite it. Oh, I saw a little core in there. I would rather buy extra apple that I could waste than to get a bunch of hardcore in here, because that would be hardcore. See, when you eighth it, it's certainly a lot easier to draw the knife through it. Okay, that's all good. So I'm going to take those, which is what I usually do, I'm going to take those ones I quartered, get them cut in half. This is kind of my final inspection. Piece of seed that was on the knife. Like I said, it's bitter, but it's good. So let me stir this up. I want to get this a little soft, and the onion is softening. I was kind of not in a hurry doing that because I wanted to. And you can see it's amazing. It's already turning a little brown. And this doesn't like roast in the pan for a long time, so you want to make sure those onions are not too crunchy. You want to soften them up. Alright, so what I'm going to do, now, way too many. Now look at all those apples. You know I won't use that many, but. So I want to make sure that I look in the pot, and we had a lot of onion, almost as much red pepper. So I want about as much red pepper in apple. And that's why I can be picky, because I got way too much here. So all I'm going to do is come up with these kind of pieces. About the same size as the chicken. And yes, if you have an apple core slicer, and I guess didn't use it. That was a fatty. Probably cut those in half. So what do you think this apple is going to add to it? It's going to bring some tartness, some sweetness, and some good real texture. Because everything else in there so far is kind of bland. So, if you recall, this is my bowl of chicken. If I wanted to match it, all I had to do is get another bowl and put apple into it. And it's got a bad spot. I'm guessing we're getting really close. You know, back in the day when you cooked, your vegetables and stuff were always really secondary. We've really evolved to the fact where I want it to be primary. I don't want it just to be chicken. I want a lot of other stuff in there. I really think that adds. Alright, this looks really good right now. So, start with the apple. When I stir it around, I'll have a better idea. But these are pretty good sized apples. I used over 1.5. Well, there was one piece I took out, so. Before I do, black pepper. This black pepper never hurt anyone. You know me, I don't use salt, and that does not mean this is going to be a boring meal, okay? Clear the works here, and just want to stir this for about 2 minutes, because we're going to soften it. Just start to soften that apple. Coat it with butter. And I could probably finish the recipe without the chicken and still be happy because there's so much flavor going right now. I'm just really, it's really good. Alright. So I've been looking at the timer. I've got a little time left, 1.5 minutes probably, alright? And get everything else set up. I think I'm going to start with rinsing some knives. This knife actually gets to be, I gotta dry it, okay? I can't just leave it. Alright, so now what do I do? Still got about a minute. Not quite. Just starting to see them turn a little color. And get happy. And I don't want to kill them because I still want a little crunch. We can soften the onion and the red pepper, but I think the apple needs to have just a little crunch. Alright. Really smells good. Hope you. Alright, so what's next? Got all this chicken. Well, I don't want to rush getting it back in here because I don't want to ruin it. I want to keep the texture and the coating on it, alright? So, something in here that it must be the onion was a little hotter than I expected it to be. And so what I'm going to do to start with, I need a bunch of curry powder. And like I always complain, you can't put a tablespoon in there. I think that's for protection. So someone that doesn't know any better. But I want about a tablespoon and a half. So we're going to go. Oh look, this one's really defective.
Oh
I have to get really creative. One. So if I need a tablespoon and a half, I need a bunch. Manufacturers are doing that just to annoy me. And when you stir this, you want to see everything coated. Oh. I want this stuff to just be beautiful, yellow, orange. And the fragrance at this point is just over the top. Okay. Oh, yeah. Come to Papa. Beautiful. Alright, now I'm going to very carefully get my, actually, almost knocked that over. Let me get my curry back, because you know, humidity just kills this stuff. Curry's one of those powders, man. So that's a beautiful amount. Just for you, because I hate measuring, I'm going to get a cup of chicken stock. Save that in case you need a little more. Let's get that in there. And we're going to be gentle now. Just want to be gentle. Get it all back to a nice boil, get the chicken mixed in, get the curry flavor. This is going to be really extravagantly beautiful. I just love the colors. The green of the apples, the color of curry, the red of the red pepper. Oh, this is really beautiful. This is where all that kind of flavor melding together happens, and it really is good. Okay, try and get this to a nice boil. The cup isn't a whole lot, it wasn't enough to submerge it, but I want to be cautious. I can always add more, can't take away, remember? Watch pot never boils, so I'm trying to, but at this point we're really happy. Everything's got this beautiful color, which you're going to see in a minute. And I just want to make sure that everything is super happy. A little of that extra cornstarch that was cooked is going to release now. Just thicken this up a little bit. That's what I'm looking for. I got a little teeny piece of apple here because I'm really curious. Maybe not that curious. Oh. Wow. tartness is just gone. The curry, it just brought out the sweetness of this. Oh. I'm glad I'm making this recipe because it really is a great recipe. Well, it's kind of a version of a great recipe. So my mom would always make a roux. I gotta turn this down, it's really boiling now. So I kind of played with it in my head, and I'm going to add a little milk, whole milk. I'll start with about half a cup. I know we're going to end up with about a cup. And I've always got my chicken stock I can thin it with. But all I'm going to do now is get it warm again. Now it's time to go out there setting the table because dinner is going to be served really soon. Yeah, so my mom would make a little slurry, a little flour, milk mixture, and that's how she would thicken it. I'm not a big fan of that. If you have to thicken it, if you messed up somehow cooking the chicken and everything stuck to the pan, you can always make a little gourmand with like equal parts soft, room temperature butter and flour. Mix it up real good and throw it in at the end, and that will thicken it. But when I show you how this came out, it's gonna make you cry. I also, back in the day, all those fresh fruits and vegetables and chicken were kind of pricey, so we tended to get a lot more sauce than we did the good stuff. I don't want a bowl full of gravy because it's chicken curry, but I do need enough just to cover it. So I'm just waiting for this to come to a little bit of a bubble. It's almost there. In the meantime, I need to stage this. I got some rice from my rice cooker. I don't use metal in my rice cooker. So I kind of ignored it too long. That's okay. If you're not very good at making rice, go to the Chinese restaurant and spend $1. But rice is pretty simple. This had just started cooling down, I could tell. I picked up the pan. Didn't burn my fingers. Go figure. So, just want to get a little bit on here to soak up some of that goodness. Oh, I'm seeing my bubbles. Okay. Hear my stomach growl. Just enough to make it all happen. Let me turn this off. Oh. You can see how thick and delicious. Chicken, so I want to get some of those good apples. All right, I'm gonna sneak another piece of chicken. I mean, if you know anything about sauces, you can see how well that's sticking to the spoon. That's perfect. I mean, this is really, you know, a creation of love. I love looking back in my brain and things that I remember as a kid, and recreating and making them a little bit different, a little healthier, a little better. But I really probably have to give a lot more credit to my mom, because she made this. I mean, this was like turkey curry we eat a lot of, okay? Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever. All right, so I want you to enjoy these kind of recipes. I want you to have fun making meals. I want you to get the whole family together. Put down your devices, because they're killing us. I don't have any devices going when I'm nothing. You don't hear nothing ringing in my house right now. And you got to try some of this stuff. Get the kids to help. Have them, you know, cut up the apple and chop off their fingers. Just kidding. But can't wait to try this. Really appreciate you guys. Keep going. I keep getting, YouTube keeps telling me that I suck because I'm not hitting numbers. So maybe next time I'll have to like cook naked and blur parts. I don't know what I'll do. But either way, appreciate you. Hope you're learning something. Hope you're having fun. I love the comments. I really do. When I hear a comment, it just makes me happy, and I quick, you know, I'll sit down so I can respond. So anyway, have a great day. Have fun. I'll see you again next time with another recipe. Bye.